Hello, ladies. It is so good to reconnect with you today. So, I am out here in the backyard. I figured for the season of summer that we're introducing today that I had to be out here in the sunshine. So, I hope the internet works and that this is good to go. But thanks for joining me. All right, so I think the whole culmination of this program is really to get ourselves to enjoy the season of summer and the season of true love. And so today I want to do an overview of everything that we've learned so far to get to this point, and then how to maximize and lengthen this season once you're enjoying it. So far we've talked about the fall season being the season of learning your lessons as a prerequisite for gaining that self-awareness that fall is all about. And in order to graduate from that fall season, it's utilizing that self-awareness to know your self-worth and to really honor that and realize that people pleasing is not benefiting you or the people that you're associating with, because it's keeping you in contact with people who aren't truly in alignment with your destiny. And so by gaining the self-worth to be true to yourself and honor your heart wisdom, it does rule out a lot of options as potential mates, but it also brings you to the frequency and the vibration of your true match and your true happiness. So even if you're alone, at least you're on that frequency of your happiness instead of sinking beneath that to enjoy partnership or tolerate partnership with someone that is not in alignment with who you are and what you're meant to be, do, and have in this lifetime. So fall is all about self-awareness, and the graduation is knowing your self-worth and honoring that. And then that brings you into winter, which is all about self-care and taking time and energy dedicated solely to your own well-being and your passion and your curiosity, and making space for that, making time for that, and making yourself a priority. So through that self-care, you gain clarity. And so the graduation from winter is to have that clarity that you know what you want, you know who you are, you know what you're meant to pursue and enjoy and be curious about experimenting and exploring, but you have clarity. You know what your heart is calling for, and through the self-care and making yourself a priority, you're willing to honor that by listening to your heart wisdom and taking inspired action. And sometimes that brings you outside of your comfort zone, but that's where the magic happens. And so winter is really building up the energy, the reserves of source energy, so that when the time comes, you are able and willing and have the energy and the self-worth and the self-care and the clarity, all of that building up to a moment that you can dive all in and be 100% in and know that it is what your heart has asked for, and know that it's what you want, and so that there's no hesitation, there's no holding back. And all of that is gained by really taking a long pause in that winter season to develop that and to honor your self-care and let things simmer and develop and germinate. And so your graduation from the winter season is that clarity, that readiness to move forward. And so you come into your spring season, and spring is all about living life to its fullest, exploring, experimenting, pursuing your curiosity, following your joy. And so it's a season of self-expression. using that creativity that was inspired during the winter season to take inspired action and do new and creative and wonderful things in your spring season. And that self-expression leads to confidence. So every time you do something for yourself, and maybe it's a lesson learned, but most likely all you're going to learn from it is more of what you want, more of what feels good, more of what feels in alignment and true for you. So the graduation from spring is confidence. So you come into it with this readiness to explore, readiness to be who you are and see what that leads to. And through doing that, you gain confidence. Every time that you are true to yourself, you realize it's attracting people that energize you instead of drain you. It's attracting opportunities that are exciting for you. It's attracting joy and happiness and good friends, good people, good opportunities, good joy in every area of your life. And so spring is really about attracting all of that to you. And you can only do that with the clarity that you gained in the winter season to be able to say no to things that don't serve you, that don't interest you, that don't align with you. And every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, it makes room for something that is a heartfelt hell yes. And so every time you do that, you're gaining confidence throughout the spring season. So the spring season takes as long as it takes for you to trust your heart wisdom and to know that every time you follow it, even when it's scary, even when it takes you far beyond your comfort zone, it's working out in your favor. It's doing magical, wonderful things in your life. So spring is really about knowing what you're a no to, because you developed that clarity during your winter season, and saying yes to things that you are a yes to, and giving yourself the grace to be a beginner for a while you're figuring things out with new hobbies, new relationships, new pursuits of passion, whatever that is for you. It happens in the the spring season. The magic starts to unfold and become materialized in that spring season. So you may have relationships in the spring season that aren't the one, but they're getting really darn close. They're getting to where you feel like you are being yourself in this relationship, and you are attracting partners that are honoring who you truly are and see you for who you truly are, and are accepting what you want to be, do, and have in this lifetime. And that's why I say spring, they may not be the one, but they're definitely on the right path. They're definitely far and above over the ones that you were probably attracting in your fall season. And it's more about gaining confidence and rewarding yourself for saying no to things that you're a no to, and yes to things that get your curiosity or your interest or your joy revved up. And every time you do that, the universe gives you positive reinforcement in the way of showing you that you're on the right path, of opening doors that you didn't think were possible in the fall season, or that you prayed were possible but didn't know how to get to or find or open. All of that starts to happen for you in the spring season. It is a magical, wonderful, beautiful season. So enjoy spring, enjoy experimenting, be a scientist, be a flirtatious butterfly, whatever that is for you. It is fun in the spring season. So don't shorten it by having, this expectation that summer is where it's at. Every phase, every season has its benefits and has its worthwhileness that needs to be experienced in the moment. So don't rush through any of them. Even your fall season, you can shorten it by learning your lessons the easy way and honoring your intuition, but don't skip it. Don't belittle it. Don't begrudge it. It is there for you. It is serving your greatest good to learn those lessons and to become self-aware and to really identify your self-worth. It's necessary. You have to go through these steps in order, in full completion, to be able to experience the next phase or season to the utmost, to the fullest, to your greatest joy and your greatest good. So spring, so you go through, it's the same 4 seasons, same 4 phases that we discussed in your inner development. So you go through self-awareness, self-care, and self-expression. And the graduation from each of those is self-awareness leads to knowing your self-worth. Graduating from fall is a knowing of your self-worth and no longer being willing to settle for something that is not in alignment with your own self-worth. And then spring is allowing that self-care to bring clarity. And so the graduation from that winter season is clarity and an inner knowing of your heart that you are ready for the next phase because you have gained that clarity. And then spring, going through that self-expression, the graduation from that spring season is confidence. So you're developing confidence with every choice that you make in your spring season. You are getting positive reinforcement and affirmation that when your body tells you it's a no and you say no, it lets you know you made the right choice. And when your body is a yes and you say yes, it lets you know you made the right choice. And it may phase out some people from your life, but it's for the greatest good. It may bring new people and opportunities and jobs and interests and hobbies and locations and all sorts of unexpected things into your life, but you'll feel that they are light, they are with ease, they are in alignment with your greatest good when you honor your body and say no to things that feel heavy and unwanted and say yes to things that feel curious and light and desired. So that's the big mysterious graduation, is being true to yourself, being authentic in every phase leads you to becoming your true self. And once you are your true self and you have the audacity to be her in every situation, you have hit your summer stride. And that is the season of true love. So if you're single, it's being 100% yourself out in the world. Doing hobbies, being with friends, working a job that is 100% in alignment with who you truly are. Not with who you should be, not with what others expect of you, but who you truly, in your heart, are here to be. And it's not always the easy road, but it is the most rewarding. And summer is that reward. And if it's in a marriage or relationship, it's doing that in partnership. It's honoring yourself enough to be your true self in every situation of that relationship. So if there's a conflict, it's coming into it fully as yourself, identifying what your heart truly feels, and knowing that if it triggers you, that's an invitation for you to heal what needs healed on your end. It's not blaming someone else, it's not being a victim to someone else, it's simply being true to yourself and honoring every emotion that brings, every heart desire that triggers, and every curiosity that inspires. Being that, doing that, having that is your summer season. And doing that in partnership is true love. So the way to extend your season of true love is to simply maintain the practices that we learned in the first 4 weeks of self-awareness, self-care, and self-expression as the total package of self-love, and maintaining that as a priority, always, even in partnership. Yes, partnership involves a little bit of compromise, but it's never compromising on the non-negotiables of your values and of your self-care and of your self-love and of your self-expression and self-awareness. Like, all of that needs to remain non-negotiable, so that you know where you have room to give. You know that, my partner needs me on this night, so that just means that 2 nights from now or 2 nights before that, I need to really pay attention to giving myself more time for a bubble bath, for doing my passion project, for connecting with friends, whatever it is that you know that that's going to drain when you compromise in their best interest. Know that you need to balance it with what's going to fill your cup back up immediately before or after to compensate for that. And by doing so, you're enabling yourself to be in true love with them, to be all of yourself for them, because that's what you're here to do. That's what your heart came into your body to enjoy, to experience, to have a human life, is to do it all in, 100%, play full out. No holding back, no fear, no reservations, no hesitancy. Just go for it. Follow your heart. By now you've learned that when something feels heavy, it's a no. If something feels light, it's a yes. And if something's causing fear, to breathe into it. Is it a real fear? Is it a fear that's truly making you safer? Or is it a fear that simply needs breath? Because it could easily turn into excitement if you add the breath. And that makes it a whole lot lighter, a whole lot more enjoyable, and a whole lot more in alignment with your personal growth on this journey outside of your comfort zone to discover who you truly are and what you're here for. So with that, I invite you this week to challenge yourself to say no when it feels like a no, whether it's an invitation from friends, your partner wants to have sex some night, or a networking event, a dating event, I don't know, it could be something that you are offered to eat, something that someone invites you to do something. I invite you to, if your body doesn't want to, or it feels heavy, to say no, to feel that empowered no, and to allow the universe to show you positive affirmation of when you say no, and it's truly a no within your heart, it's going to let you know you made the right decision. And maybe that's just that bubble bath feels extra good when you decided not to go out with friends or your partner or whatever on a certain evening, or staying up to watch that show with your roommates or your husband or your best friend or whatever on a night that you really just wanted to get some sleep, and you knew that if you weren't in bed by some crazy early hour that you would regret it. And so by saying no to that invitation, there's always that little tinge of FOMO, fear of missing out, but allow that to be okay. Know that you're not missing anything that you're meant to enjoy if your body truly said, no, we'd rather not right now. And so this week I invite you to say an empowered no at least once. And to balance that, I also invite you to say an empowered yes at least once, which I also invited you to do during your spring season, so I hope you did. But summer is all about maintaining. It's not really introducing anything new. Usually by the end of your spring season, if you were in a dating phase for your spring season, it typically you've met the one by the end of that spring season. So summer typically isn't introducing anything new. It's simply maintaining that high vibe frequency that you've developed over the previous 3 phases. And if at any point you dip beneath that and start to operate at a low frequency, you'll fall right back into fall. So the way to keep the longevity of your summer season is simply to maintain your self-love practices with self-care, self-awareness. Keep that journaling up, keep your morning routine up, keep up the gratitude practice. Whatever you find is working for you in those previous seasons, just because you find happiness and true love and joy in your summer season, do not stop. Do not let up on the gas pedal of your self practices. All right? Because if you do, you're going to find yourself learning that lesson the hard way, and that makes it a fall season instead of maintaining summer. Now, I will say, once you've experienced summer, it is a lot easier to rotate back through the seasons quickly. So if you do find yourself falling out of summer and into fall, don't be concerned about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. It happens in partnership or solo, and it can happen in partnership or solo whether you're in a relationship or not. Sometimes your end of the relationship may fall through a cycle while the other person, stands strong in wherever they were in their cycle. But don't beat yourself up about it. Don't prolong it longer than necessary. Just use it as a, reminder that it is important for you to keep this up as a lifestyle, ongoing for the rest of your life, to honor your heart wisdom, to honor your self-love practices, and to do that whether you're single or that is how you can bring the most joy to your life. That is how you create a love life that you truly enjoy. And by being so focused on pursuing your own joy in a way that is in alignment with your greatest good, you're also in alignment with the greatest good of everyone around you, the people you love, the people you come in contact with. And so you're doing the universe, the world, your community, a huge favor by doing this and keeping it up, because no one has use for someone that is drained and bitter and unhappy. That does no good for the rest of us. So by keeping this up, it's not selfish. It's the best gift you can give yourself and everyone you love, everyone you care about, everyone on this planet. It's the best thing you can do as a human being alive at this time, is to practice self-love and to share it with as many as you feel aligned to share it with. And that is the secret. That is the big formula. That's all the tips, tricks, hacks, is to simply begin with loving yourself. You deserve more love, not less, no matter what you're experiencing, what emotions you feel, what you judge about yourself or judge about the world around you. Always, you deserve more love, not less. And by practicing self-love, you make the world a better place. It is the way that you truly can change this world for the better and have a positive impact on everything you touch. So I thank you so much for going this far into the process, this deep into your self-discovery. And I honor wherever you are in this journey that you are on your way to becoming the best version of yourself, and you've already always known her. She's always been a part of you. You're just peeling away the layers that society has added to cover her up and becoming more and more of her with every phase you cycle through. So whether you go through all 4 phases once in a lifetime or cycle through all of them many, 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 many times, even in one relationship or while single, it's all to the benefit of yourself and the world. So I honor that and thank you. And if you ever have any questions about following your heart wisdom and really identifying what your empowered no and your true yes may be in any given situation, I invite you to share in the Facebook group or in our one-on-one calls, or even after this program is gone, I will keep this Facebook group going for continued connection. And I am always available to help you feel into what is true for you and how to get back in alignment with your greatest good and your greatest possibility for true love. All right, ladies, that is all I have today. I am still with very limited daycare, so I apologize. It probably won't be followed up with an email, but I will try to get the journal prompts up for the daily reflection throughout this coming week, and we'll try to catch everything up on email and the website as soon as possible. I did have my parents start with daycare today on a shortened version, so that's how I'm able to do this out here and not super quiet. My son is not inside napping. He's actually with his Grammy and Grandpa. So it's progressively getting easier for me to dedicate more and more time again to helping you through this process and finding your true love and your true joy. So reach out to me. I am here for you, ladies. I love all of this process. Wherever you're at in it, let's honor that and enjoy it to the fullest. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.